welcome any new viewers to this channel. Again, my videos are just nuggets of information I just want to put out there. And hopefully, if you watch the video, it kind of prompts you to go and, check the Bible out, and also to fact check that what I'm saying sort of makes sense and what I'm saying is actually in the Bible. And with that, I'm going to just jump right into this one. The title is The Love of God. Now, the love of God needs to be on the earth, and it should overtake evil. Love should overtake evil. How, as believers, can any believer partake in evil and do so little regarding love? You might say, what is she talking about? Okay, let me explain with the word of the anointed Christ. As followers of Christ, here is what is expected of the followers. I'm going to include myself, so I'm going to say us. How many believers can truly say that we fit this requirement that the Christ basically demonstrated for us? But not many people actually even pay much attention to those verses, and they are critical to our salvation. I'll tell you that much. Here's very sad news from Christ himself. If any believer is lacking in the actions of love, I'm afraid that there is a rude awakening that's around the corner for that believer. They don't exercise the love that is required to be in the kingdom of God, because there is a requirement, and it is the requirement to love. He left us 2 love commandments. Let me read them. We read in Mark 12 verses 30 to 31. It says, "Love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind and with all your strength." And verse 31 says, "The second is this, love your neighbor as yourself. There is no commandments greater than these." Then in Matthew 22:40, it kind of confirms what is said above. It says, "On these 2 commandments hang all the laws and the prophets." So under the 2, everything that the Christ lived, came, walked on the earth, lived, it hangs on the 2 love commandments that he left with his disciples. Then we find in the book of John, 1 John 4:7-8, it says, "Beloved, let us love one another, for love is of God. And everyone that loveth is born of God, and knoweth God." But here's the other verse. "He that loveth not, knoweth not God, for God is love." So basically, if you don't have love, you don't know God. If you don't exercise love, you don't know God. We can't be kidding ourselves. Let me move on. Now, the Christ tells us what love is, right? Yeah. Now, here's what Christ told people who believed they were believers. And let me put it that way. People who believed they were believers, that were doing everything contrary to what is required and what is expected of the believer. Here it is. "And the king shall answer and say unto them, Verily I say unto you, inasmuch as you have done it unto one of the least of these my brethren, you have done it unto me." Does it sound like one of the 2 commandments that we just talked about? 41 says, "Then shall he say unto them on the left hand, Depart from me, you cursed, into everlasting fire, prepared for the devil and his angels." So that's the punishment you get when you read Matthew 25:40-41, that is the love. If you have love, you do the actions to one another and to others. And when you're doing it to each other, you're doing it to the Christ. It's love. This is demonstration. This is a love demonstration, right? If you're not doing that, I think I should have even used the earlier passage where it says, you didn't feed me, you didn't do all of that. But you know what? This is homework for you. Go and just read that. This is what keeps you in or out of the kingdom of God. Notice he never talked about his title. He didn't say, you didn't take me as God. You didn't do. No. He spoke about your actions to each other and the other people around us. It's called love. So it is clearly demonstrated by the words of the Christ that if our actions, it is our actions that shows if we have love or not. And I already spoke about the fact that he didn't talk about his title. And the same thing, the same question he asked Peter. He said to Peter, how many times? 3 times he asked Peter if he loved him. Again, the focus was love. The focus is always the love of God and the love of man, right? So he told us he didn't come to glorify himself. He came to glorify his Father. And when he asked Peter, who do they say I am? And Peter answered and told him. If you notice, Peter didn't say he was God. Peter actually just told him who he was. And he said, my Father told you this. So what I'm saying is, because I'm not talking about whether he's God or not, I'm saying he wasn't hung up on the fact that you need to recognize him as God. He is on about love, the love you have for God, the love you have for man. That was the crux of his ministry, and that's how he lived. He lived the commandment to the fullest, and by doing so, it demonstrates the love for God and the love for man. I don't think I could get it any plainer than that. And when you do that, guess what you actually do? That is you glorify God, you glorify the Father. And that was the mission of Christ, to come and glorify his Father, not himself. I thank you for watching.